Wearing an Oakland hat, huh? So is that indicative of your rooting preferences here?
No, no, absolutely not. It's
Uh-huh.
indicative of my frustration that the A's are going to Vegas. It's my very small protest of the A's leaving for Vegas. It's
Wearing their hat is a protest?
well, it's indicative. It's most indicative of the fact that I need a haircut. That's what it's most indicative of. No, I'm rooting for this. This will be
I was thinking
this will
about
literally be the first time in my life I'm rooting against the Warriors.
rooting against the Warriors.
It's the first time in my life.
Hmm.
And I don't know what to do about it. I don't. It feels. It does. I'm not. I'm not looking forward to this. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's funny because, like, on one hand, you're like, oh, it's a win-win, right? But
It's also a lose.
on the other, it's like it's a lose-lose.
Yep. I mean, it is certainly good for. It is certainly good for work and for business and such. If if the Lakers win, I mean that's certainly a good thing for all access Lakers. It's a good thing for me with the Lakers. All of that is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And I want another ring. But that means the team of my youth loses. And if the Warriors win, that's not that's not good. Yeah, this is it's a win-win or it's a lose-lose, I guess, depending on how you look at it. I guess here's the good part
It's
about
an ulcer.
Yeah. I didn't go. I didn't go in the playing game. I just didn't go.
Oh.
The Lakers Warriors playing game, I didn't go.
Yeah.
No, I'm not looking forward to it. I've never rooted against the Warriors in my life, and these next however many games are going to be the first time, and I'm like having trouble processing it.
It's a lot
because I haven't had to face it.
Mm-hmm.
I have not had to face it. They've not been good together at the same time, and they haven't played each other in the playoffs since 1991. Yeah, and that was long before my Lakers journey started.
I love Marcus Thompson.
Yeah,
but I want to know why. I want to know why this tweet is so dramatic. He goes like, as the Warriors set to face the Lakers, D'Angelo Russell is the lone player to play for both teams. The last time these franchises met in the playoffs in 1991, there was also one player who'd played for both teams. ... Space.
Terry Teagle?
Terry Teagle.
Yeah. I haven't read that yet, but I did know that.
Why is that so dramatic?
I don't.
Why should I care about Terry Teagle?
Terry Teagle could hoop. Terry Teagle got buckets. I'm old enough to know this, but Terry Teagle got buckets.
No, I people forget Terry Teagle is a bucket, but but it was just like I don't. It's graphed off. Like each sentence.
That's how he does.
Its own graph.
That's how he does it, though.
But it's like
Marcus is the best. I will accept no Marcus Thompson slander. Marcus
it's not slander. It's a question. I want to know why.
No, there is
because I get down to the bottom. I'm like, man, who's it going to be? Is it going to be?
There is a slanderous nature to the question.
There is nobody off slander limits. Okay.
Yes, Marcus Thompson is off limits, especially while I have an A's hat on. Which I think all of the Lakers Lounge viewers, not listeners, because...
Should I reply to him, hey, why is this so dramatic?
No. I will accept... I mean, it is your show, so I'm not going to make any rules on your show. That would be presumptuous of me. However, on your Lakers
show.
Lounge,
this is all our deal.
I will accept no Marcus Thompson slander while I am in an Oakland A's hat. He is real Oakland. He is town biz. I will accept no Marcus Thompson slander while I am in an A's hat, as they are leaving to go to Vegas.
I was going to ask you about the A's going to Vegas. Like, on one hand, it sucks to lose like the baseball team of your youth, but on the other,
no. The Warriors are. I work in the NBA. The Warriors are the basketball team of my youth. The A's are my team.
Okay.
Presently.
So
I mean, I don't pay attention anymore, but the A's are my team.
But like, this just means like in July, when we're there for like a summer league,
I don't need excuses to go to Vegas.
No. I'm saying like it gives us.
I'm done. Nope, I'm done.
Gone.
Yeah,
like that makes sense.
Do Sonics fans like
No.
root
I get
for
it.
the
I get it.
Thunder? No, I'm done.
Yeah. No, I
I'm
get
a
it.
baseball free agent, which means I really won't care.
Dodgers fan?
No, absolutely not. No. My hypocrisy only runs so deep. No. Although my brother,
Can we get
who
you to throw out a first pitch at a Dodgers game? Yeah?
no, no,
Yeah?
no, no. My right hand also barely works from multiple surgeries and basketball injuries.
It's
So
going to look
no.
like 50 Cent.
Yeah, that was a mess. That was a mess. Did you see, by the way, did you see Steph scoring when he hit 50, look at
And then
50 Cent and tell him light the beam?
Yeah,
That was funny.
that was good.
I enjoy petty Steph. No, we cannot get no. Although my brother, who shout out to my homegirl Shannon, who works at like does events and such for SoFi, is in on the team that gets all the events, books all the events, and gets all the events for the whole SoFi campus. She used to work in partnerships for the Rams and Chargers. So I got she got my nephew to go see the monster truck thing, whatever it was, Monster Jam thing the other day. So shout out to her. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because my brother, we're so bothered by the A's leaving. My brother has decided he is allowing his wife there to turn my niece and my nephew into Dodgers fans. They don't have to be A's fans. They were, if the A's were staying in Oakland, they have to be A's fans. But now he doesn't want to curse them with that misery, and we're not following the A's to Vegas.
Yeah,
they're allowed to be
get it.
Dodgers fans.
I get it. Like it's so like right now out here, there's a big debate because the Spurs are kind of like flirting with the city of Austin, and
they've been doing that for years.
Yeah, but it's really ramping up, right? They even have a home. They had a couple games here this year. That was the first.
Yeah. Yep.
And
didn't they play? They played they played the Warriors. They played the Warriors in the Alamo Dome, didn't they? And like set a record for, I think they had 70,000 people there.
But that Alamo Dome is the San Antonio, like they built the Alamo Dome hoping to get the Houston Oilers, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
And then they didn't get the Houston Oilers.
So Final Four. I think they've played the Final Four there.
Yeah, they'll get like occasional. They've had a Lakers playoff game that they open up the Alamo Dome for. So like they use it occasionally or whatever. But this year the Spurs actually came up to Austin and played at the Moody Center, which is where it's this big like event hall kind of thing.
It's not UT's place.
Yeah, it is. Like they
play their basketball. Is that where they play basketball?
Yeah, and then and then I think the city of Austin is like getting ready to build
Austin's great.
a new NBA arena. Like they're willing to build an arena if the Spurs decide to come up here. So it's funny because like both cities
great.
they're like Austin is exponentially better than San Antonio.
Austin's great. San Antonio sucks.
It's really bad.
Not the team. Well, I mean the team does presently suck. I mean the city.
But like
I love Charles Barkley's San Antonio slander is so funny.
Yeah. But like I'm
gonna stay out of the well, never mind.
San Antonio is like trying to like say Austin is a part of their metro area, and Austin is trying to say that San Antonio is a part of their metro area. So it's like this
constant. Which city is technically bigger?
Well, Austin's the state capital for one.
Yes, and then who has more people?
So they're roughly the same. The difference is Austin is growing like crazy right now.
Aren't they a few hours away from each other?
It's like 2.
Yeah,
2 hours away.
That's in the same metro area.
Well, that's the thing. Like they're both cities are being really stupid about it. Like it's just like this really nonsensical.
This is your Texas local municipality podcast moment on Lakers Lounge.
Right. But like Austin has a better downtown area and has more people kind of squeezed in together. San Antonio technically has as many people, but it is so sprawled out that like Austin can technically get bigger. But that's the thing with Texas cities though, is that they can all keep growing because Texas is this giant country.
There's a lot of room there.
Yeah. Like El Paso, where I grew up, the
Also
El
sucks.
Paso's west border is the Texas border, basically.
Yeah.
It's like El Paso and then Anthony, and then then you're at the border. Um, but for
Wait, their
uh
west border?
their west border, like it is the El Paso is like called El Paso because you have to pass through it to get into the west part of Texas, right? Um,
That's
but
isn't that about as far east as you can go and about as far south as you can go and still be in Texas?
east
Yeah, isn't
or
it? Isn't El
west?
Paso? El Paso's on the west side of Texas?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought El Paso was all the way east.
No, it's all the way west. All like as far as you can go west.
Okay.
And so like it's in that so Texas, it has that it has that the border like Texas comes down like this, right? And then it also comes, it goes like that. And so it's like it's at that one little jut out, the peninsula basically of Texas. The land peninsula. And so anyway, El Paso has grown like crazy because there is nothing east of it. So when I was growing up, my grandma used to live in what was considered central El Paso. And
Okay.
now it is like West El Paso because it has grown so far east. and, and that's the case like with all of these cities. They just keep growing and growing and growing. Out here, like they're extending a freeway north of us here into, Liberty Hill, and it's all part of like these are all Austin suburbs. So Austin itself, like, it's just going to be this giant thing. So I think eventually they're going to get an NBA team. I hope so. That'd be cool.
You
My
think
cover.
Austin's gonna
Ooh,
get an NBA
man.
team?
I wonder if I would start covering that team.
Do you think Austin's gonna get an NBA team?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's
Like,
eventually.
there's somebody's gonna move there, or they're gonna expand.
My guess is they would have the
Because
Spurs
it's
move up there.
Seattle and Vegas are getting the
Yeah.
expansion teams.
I think they're gonna. I think because it's not like you can give
The
Texas
A's are gonna play in a fucking AAA, like 7,000 seat AAA stadium while they're
and still not sell it out.
though they will in Vegas
Maybe
because
I
it'll
don't
be
know.
new.
My family, like
It'll
the
be
people
new.
I've spoken to in Vegas, are all just like, okay,
It'll be
baseball
new.
team.
Yeah, it'll be new though.
Yeah, but it's baseball.
Baseball's stupid.
It's
I don't
baseball.
like baseball. Baseball's stupid.
Also, playing baseball in fucking July, where
In
these
Vegas.
poor
Yeah,
bastards are going to be
they better have
wearing
a dome.
pants.
They better have a dome.
have a dome.
They
People
better
are
have a
going to
dome.
die out there.
Yeah, they better have a dome.
Are we going to start the show? We should start the show.
All right, let's start the show.
All right, I think we're just going to preview this thing. Are you ready?
Yeah. I mean,
All
no,
right.
but yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to the Lakers Lounge. I'm Anthony Irwin, as always, joined on this fine Monday. Wait, what are we doing?
You tell me. Why did I agree to this?
It's a Monday. It's the worst day of the week.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the worst day of the week. I'm Anthony
Why do I have to be
Irwin.
associated with this?
We
I
can
have carved
agree
out
on
quite the
that being the
niche.
worst day of the week, right? Like Monday is the worst day of the week, or maybe Tuesday.
No, I think
because
Tuesday
Monday
is worse.
occasionally you have occasionally you'll have vacation on.
Yeah,
Mondays.
you can have a government holiday on a Monday.
Yeah,
Tuesdays you can have a post office not open, and I can get you a Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
Monday's better. Monday's
Yeah.
better than Tuesday.
Sorry, LeBron. Tuesday sucks.
Wait, why are we apologizing to LeBron for Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
All
Although
right,
a
so
few years back it was Taco Tuesday and it was National Margarita Day and it was Cinco de Mayo, like all coalesced on one Tuesday, which was
it
kind
was
of
just
glorious.
all
Yes.
Mexican appropriation. It was
Right,
just like
all
let's
of the,
get all the shit together,
Yeah.
wipe it all out.
All
It was
the,
funny,
all the
I-
days the white people like to pretend they like Mexican
Brown people.
culture. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, the Corona right now has a commercial out. I hope Corona isn't a sponsor, but Corona has a commercial out where it's like, Corona has never missed a Cinco de Mayo party. And I'm like, yeah, because you invented Cinco de Mayo.
Right. Right.
It's like Hershey's chocolate
Why
has
doesn't
never
Mexico
missed a
celebrate
Valentine's
Cinco de
Day.
Mayo?
It's just not a thing that we
Because
do.
it's not a thing.
No.
It's a white people American thing.
Yeah, very much so. But
To make ground beef tacos.
It's like the worst shit that. Ugh, yeah.
with paste picante sauce or ketchup. You know what? I think King
No, with
Josiah,
ranch on it.
my guy Josiah
Out
thinks
here in
ketchup.
Texas, I've noticed that a lot of people they call it jalapeno ranch out here in Texas, but it's fucking ranch that you're putting on tacos. I'm
What?
sorry, it's wrong.
What? Texas is weird.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't drink in
Um,
Texas until like a certain time. It's weird. You're not allowed to order a drink in Texas. At least at the
on
bar,
Sundays,
at
on Sundays.
the hotel bar where we stayed when I traveled with the Lakers. It was yeah, Sunday. I was going to watch football
Yeah.
before the game, and
Hmm.
the games start. Well, I think it was
Noon.
noon there. Yeah, and I was like,
Hmm.
all right, let's go. Let have
Yeah.
a couple drinks, and they were like, we can't. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't? You're like, you have to order food. Like, what
Yeah.
do you mean I can't order a drink? What are you
Well,
talking
usually
about?
like you
I'm
buy
not
a bag of
hungry.
chips or something like that, and you can get your drink or whatever. But it is funny out here. Like you have all of the you have all of the conservatives who are like, keep the government out of my life, and it's like, but you can't drink on Sundays.
Is that what they sound
It's like
like?
what? Hold on, what?
Was
That doesn't
that
make
your
any
like?
sense.
Was that your conservative white person
Keep
Texan?
them out.
Okay.
Keep that government out of my life. Let
Have
me
you
live
ever
my
considered?
life. Let me shoot my guns.
Have you ever
Also,
considered
you better
voiceover
not be
work?
drinking on Sunday, sir.
That was. I mean, that transported me to Galveston or somewhere. I don't know that you should consider voiceover work. That was
I
incredible.
might. I might. All right. So, the Lakers play the Golden State Warriors. I am
Indeed.
putting off this discussion as long as I possibly can because
Hmm.
I talked myself into a path that the Lakers can have to win this series, but the
Okay,
Warriors are the
wait a
betting
second.
favorite. Hmm?
Like, we'll get into all of this, but
Hmm.
you have like talked yourself into it, and you're talking yourself out of it, and like this is the KD Warriors.
No, it's not the KD Warriors, but I just think we'll talk about it.
Yeah, all right.
But I think the Warriors match up like particularly poorly for the Lakers. Like
Okay. Yeah.
it's a singularly bad matchup, I think, for the Lakers, and what the Lakers are really good at. The Warriors have counters that the Lakers don't have as many counters for what the Warriors do, and that really kind of concerns me. The Warriors open as betting favorites to win this series. I think that makes sense with them having home court advantage. Um, and Steph is on another level right now. He's playing better basketball than any player in the series
That's
by
what, that's what it
leaps
is.
and bounds, I would say.
That's
Um,
that's what it is. It's 30. It's all 30.
yeah.
If I say this all the time, Lakers fans are not going to like to hear this, but obviously I follow the Warriors, as closely as anybody, or more closely than anybody other than the Lakers. And it's 30. I say this on Twitter all the time. He might be the best player in the world now. Um, I think he's the best player left in the playoffs. Um, he's the boogeyman. I say all the time. I've been saying this for years. I don't think he's the best player in the world. I think he has been the best player in the world in pockets here and there, maybe for a year or two. But I think it's generally been over the last 10 years, it's generally been LeBron is the best player in the world, with a little Giannis sprinkled in here and there. But
Hmm.
he's the boogeyman. You should be afraid. He's the boogeyman. He's not the best player in the world. Maybe he is now, but generally he's not the best player in the world, but he's the most terrifying. He is
Yeah.
who other NBA players have nightmares about. He's the boogeyman. And you saw it yesterday, or as you listened to or I don't know if this is coming out today. You saw it yesterday. You saw it Sunday when he
Sunday.
had 50. When he had 50 points, obviously the most points in a game 7. Basically by
On the
himself.
road.
On the
Against
road,
the 2 seed.
3 seed, but yes, on the road.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
On the road against for a team that had won, I think 11 road games in the regular season, right? They were 11-30 and in the regular season on the road, and they had won a road game in 27 straight series. They lost the first 2 in Sacramento, and then Steph just decided, okay, no, that's it. So I understand being afraid, and we'll talk about matchups, but I think it is as simple as, and by the way, this was true of the Lakers internally. The Lakers internally wanted the Kings to win because you avoid 30 as much as you can.
It's funny. Now I had a parlay that would have cashed had Sacramento won,
Yes.
So that was a part of why I was rooting for the Kings. But then
Good reason.
I also kind of realized, like, fuck, man, I really like to avoid the Warriors if
Also a
possible
good
here.
reason. But it's not. It's also not the Warriors. It's 30.
Well, but there are things that there are players on the Warriors who, again, like either present issues for the Lakers or present solutions for the issues that the Lakers present, right? Or not even solutions, but like they are answers to questions, not the full answer. Not like
Yeah.
It's not like Draymond wipes out Anthony Davis. It's not like Andrew Wiggins is going to wipe out LeBron James.
No,
It's
but
just
they're
that,
as good
like,
as you can get guarding those two.
yeah, they exactly, like, the Warriors have an Andrew Wiggins for LeBron. They have a Draymond Green for AD. The Lakers don't have that for Steph. They don't. Like, people might
I
say,
think that's the point. Nobody has. That is the point. Nobody has that.
well,
For Steph. There isn't.
yeah,
that
but
for
like
Steph.
the Lakers singularly so, right? Like, I think if they still had, and I know that I got shit on this for saying this on Twitter, but like if they still had Alex Caruso, or if they still
he
had
would be a good
KCP,
He would be
you know,
okay.
like,
Avery Bradley historically was great at guarding Steph.
yeah, but like if they had, I'm not even saying that like Caruso would shut him down. He's a part of the answer. He would be something that the Lakers could throw at this
that's fair.
issue.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you know, the Lakers just don't have. If Vanderbilt doesn't have it, and if Schroeder doesn't have it,
Well,
there is nothing. There is nobody on this Lakers team who has a chance beyond those two guys.
nobody has a chance. That's the thing. Nobody.
No,
has a chance.
but
like he's gonna miss shots.
Aaron, nobody typically has a chance against LeBron, but I'm saying like Wiggins presents a solution there.
He's
But
part of a
if
solution.
Vanderbilt and Schroeder don't have it, the Lakers don't have a Wiggins to the Lakers LeBron.
So,
like it's just
okay. So let's
it
go
just
through.
doesn't
Let's,
exist.
let's go through it because as I produce your show here, let's go through it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Who do you start? You take the Lakers side. I guess I'll take the Warriors side. Who are you starting on? Who are the matchups for you? Assuming the Warriors start their two bigs, as I think they will.
Mhm.
Who from the Lakers? Who are you starting on each of those guys?
All right. So I think you have to start either you start Vanderbilt on Steph or you start Rui. And
I think the Lakers. Let's go with the assumption that both teams are going to start the lineups that they closed the last
so
year.
I think you start with Vanderbilt on Steph, and
agree.
no, he's not great at chasing around screens and stuff. That's not the kind of defense that he plays. But if there is a kind of defender who has kind of given Steph quote unquote problems, it is longer, athletic, quicker type defenders who are okay on the perimeter. And so Vanderbilt, I think, gets the first shot at this one.
I agree.
From there, you have, I think, Reeves on Clay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have Russell on Wiggins, I guess. And then you have LeBron on Looney, and I think you have AD on Draymond, so that AD can kind of roam around. But I'm nervous about like what Looney just did, and this is the other thing. Like when you say it is just Steph, I disagree. Because
No. Oh, you're saying in general. I was saying
what I just saw Looney do to Domantas Sabonis was illegal in like 35 states, man. Like
apparently not California.
That was obscene what we watched. He just
punked him.
It was unbelievable to watch Domantas Sabonis, who isn't a bad player. I think he's an 82 game player. I don't think he's a 16 game player.
That would be my guess. Yes, or not my guess. That would be my conclusion. Yes.
Yeah. But like what was wild to watch was Sabonis completely forget how to rebound. And what I mean by that is like he had zero instinct on where to even start to try to keep Looney off of the offensive glass.
But by the way, this is the dude who, to your 82 game player point, he led the league in rebounding. I don't think not per game, but total rebounds. He had the most in the NBA this year.
There were some times where he was like, all right, I'm just going to face guard Looney. I'm going to keep him off of the glass. And Looney just walked him out of the basket. And then there were times where he was like, all right, fine, I got to go get the ball. And Looney would just go around him and get to the basket. And there were times where Demonis, I demoted him.
He demoted himself, by the way.
There were times where I'm watching him like get stuck in between the two, where he was like, "All right, I gotta go. Nope, I gotta go get the," and then he would just like stand there, and then Looney would get the rebound. So it was just Looney. I think LeBron would have a better chance than Sabonis at keeping Looney off of the glass. But you're asking that's going to take a lot of effort out of LeBron's legs. So maybe it makes more sense to have LeBron on Draymond.
That's correct.
And have him kind of roam around a little more and keep AD in the paint. The only problem with keeping AD in the paint though is AD, in pick and rolls and stuff like that, is the big that you want switched on to Curry from time to time. So
correct.
Yeah, I think this is how I would start the game, and then the counters start. Was there anything that you kind of disagreed with? Is there any approach that you would tweak?
I think I would switch. I mean, I would, if for me, and I actually think this is what the Lakers will do, and this is what I'll suggest is, if asked, I agree, Vando on Steph. I think it's LeBron on Draymond. I think it's because I don't want him fighting. I don't want LeBron fighting.
And it's fighting.
Looney. I don't want him fighting Looney. Like I don't want that sapping his energy.
It's straight up sumo wrestling.
You have times. Draymond is the favorite, is Steph's favorite screener. And I think they are going to go to it, and I think Steph is going to try to cook LeBron some. LeBron, look, when LeBron turns up the volume, LeBron can still be a decent option switched onto Steph. Not as good as AD, but he can still be a decent option. The reason I don't love it is not because I think Steph is just going to have his way with LeBron, because I don't think he will, because I think LeBron's going to care from second one in this series. LeBron is gonna care.
Yeah, there's no easing into this one, I don't think.
But it does take some of his energy, right? It's gonna take away some of his energy, and that tank is no longer like that tank. It no longer. I think that's the main thing we've seen, and I think it's the foot a little bit too with LeBron. But I think LeBron is as good as he's been before, but he used to have, other than the 3-point shooting, but he used to have a tank that just never emptied. And I think at this point, sometimes the energy level gets low. So I would, for me, it's AD on Looney, it's LeBron on Draymond, much like, and also in some similar ways, why I wanted LeBron on Dillon Brooks is because he has to conserve energy, leaves shooters in the corners to kind of wander, to conserve energy, and I thought it could feed into Dillon Brooks' bad habits. LeBron didn't guard him that much, but Dillon Brooks shot them out of the series, as I predicted he would. Draymond, he's not going to shoot it like Dillon Brooks.
Yeah.
But he'll get 3 or 4 up from the corner when he's open, and you go like, really? Draymond, really?
Yeah.
And I would also, I don't want D'Lo on Wiggins. I think Wiggins will just cook him. Wiggins, like his energy level,
where do you
his
put
physicality.
D'Lo?
Clay. Look, D'Lo's not a great defensive player, and it's not a great option. But the one good thing about the Lakers defensively is there are teams in the postseason that have like multiple guys you can go, you want to attack. Like, the Warriors were like, Sabonis, come on, got you. Keegan Murray, come on, got you. Herter, come on, got you.
Yeah.
And that's 3 guys in the starting lineup. Even Barnes a little bit, like 3 guys in the starting lineup. You're like, all right, I'll attack this dude. Fox is okay. Malik is bad. Like, so there's lots of places to attack. The Lakers don't have that many places to attack. D'Lo is really the only place where you go, okay, I'm going at that dude. Austin, you're not going after Austin. You're not going after LeBron. You're certainly not going on after Anthony Davis. Vando's good. Like, Rui has a reputation for not being that good defensively, but as a Laker, he has been pretty good defensively.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a big body that can move his feet, so that's
Yep.
not the dude you're going after. So if D'Lo's going to start, and D'Lo's going to start because the Lakers need the spacing and need the creation and need the offense. But I do think there may be a quick hook on him if he doesn't have it. D'Lo has to guard Clay, and by the way, Clay was awful Sunday. Clay was
Most of
awful.
it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Clay was no, not most of it. Clay was. I mean, he did lead. He did. This is how wonky plus minus is. He led the team and led the game in plus minus. He was plus 30. Well, he was like 4 of 19, and it didn't even look that good. So, yeah, I mean, understand some matchup concerns from the Warriors side. I think you do. I think it's LeBron on. Excuse me. I think it's Draymond on Vando.
Yeah,
because he's going to do the same thing that LeBron does to Draymond. He's just going to play center field. Yep. He's going to say, "Go ahead and shoot. You're wide open. Shoot the 3 from the corner. Yeah. Go ahead. If you make a bunch of them, maybe you win."
I would say like offensively from the corners, Vando and Draymond theoretically wipe each other out. They wind up like, maybe one of them, makes one extra 3 in any given game or whatever. But so long as Vando hits as many 3s in this series as Draymond does, I'm all right with the approach.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Looney is going to start on AD. Draymond will switch over to him, in the moments that matter, probably.
Yeah.
Wiggins on
or he'll LeBron. Just double hard and you have Looney and Draymond double on AD that, like, if the ball finds its way to Vando,
Yeah, I mean, look, defense is about making the best of bad choices.
Yeah.
Right? And the Warriors give up a ton of corner 3s, wide open 3s. They've done it all season. And you can't stop everything, especially with players as good as Anthony Davis and LeBron. D'Lo's a good offensive player. Austin has become a pretty good offensive player also. So defense is about making the best of bad choices. And I think from the Warrior side, and this was true of Memphis also, like you have to give something up. You can't stop everything. So Vando shooting open 3s, you're going to live with. Memphis also tried to do that with Rui, like go ahead and then Rui shot, I think 71% in the first 4 games or something like that, which is an NBA record for your first 4 playoff games.
And then Ham stopped playing him in the first half of games, and for some reason.
So I do think it is a fascinating series. I do think I also suspect this is going to be the most watched series in NBA history, other than the finals.
Other than like when we had like 5 channels and you had like the Michael Jordan series is against whoever. Like when we all had like 3 channels, we had no choice but to watch that. This is going to rival that. This is gonna
Adam Silver is like I don't want to make like weird.
That's why I was like I rarely make kick like myself
sexual
for bets.
arousal jokes about Adam Silver, but whatever.
I mean, he looks like one, right? Like
I don't know. I mean,
he does. Like
I don't know. Whatever joke you want to make about sexual arousal and Adam Silver about this series, like I can't dispute it.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is going to do numbers.
Well, that's why, like I said on last night's lowdown, that like if you're into conspiracies or whatever, because like I don't see this series ending quickly in the Lakers' favor. Like I don't see the Lakers winning this in 5.
I don't see the series ending quickly in either favor, and not conspiracy stuff. Because I think the teams are pretty even.
Well, I could see the Warriors ending this thing quickly. I could see it. I didn't bet it. I don't see that. I don't see that. I see it more likely that the Warriors end it quickly than the Lakers, right? Because Game 5 it would be back in
fine, but that's because the Warriors have home court. But like, there's been plenty, even in the playoffs when the Warriors have been better. There's been plenty in the playoffs. To like,
well, and the NBA wants like at least 6 games of this. Like,
if they could play like best of 107, the NBA would have to play best of 107. Like literally, they could have.
It would be funny if Adam Silver just called up Denver and Phoenix was like, "Y'all can go home."
Yeah, you're not.
This is the conference finals. We're good.
Yeah,
and honestly,
they'll play best of 21 and just call this the Western semis, the Western finals, and the NBA finals. They'll just play best of 21. Finals. They'll play 3 series, and whoever wins 2 out of the 3 best of 7s is the champ. I mean, isn't there like an old David Stern joke that was his dream matchup was the Lakers against the Lakers.
Yeah.
This is as close as it, I mean, this is
Yeah,
as
that's
close
not
as you're
even a
gonna get.
joke. That's an actual quote that he gave. Yeah.
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 This is as
As
close
close to
you're
that
gonna
as you're
get.
going to get.
This is as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I think I saw something. This was like from not an account I follow on Twitter, but it was a Warriors Twitter person, and I saw it going around the timeline yesterday or no, a couple days ago, because the Kings were chirping about like, oh, look how well these games are doing ratings wise, and the Kings are a part of this. And we're like, no, it's just like all of Twitter was like, what are you talking about? This is no, you're not.
Yeah. You're
Not a
there.
part of this.
Congratulations on being there.
Congratulations on drawing the Warriors. So, but the tweet was, and somebody looked, and I haven't fact checked this, so I don't know if it's true, but in the last however many years it is, there have been 27 games that had X number of people watching, and all 27 of them were Steph Curry. So to have that
Steph
against LeBron
and or LeBron, I would imagine.
No. I don't. Again, I haven't fact checked this, but it was all 27 games that maybe it was like 14 million, like all 27 games that had gotten 14 million people in the last whatever 15 years, all had Steph Curry. I'm sure some of them also had LeBron, but but again, I don't know if this is correct. So yes, the NBA should be very excited, and I'm like, if for like a neutral
minus
observer,
the ulcer.
Yeah, I mean, I've already series has me drinking at 8:40. Like if you're not with rooting interest, like this is Steph and LeBron again, that rivalry.
Yeah.
And like San Francisco and Los Angeles, and these are the Steph and LeBron are the NBA, and the Lakers and Warriors are the most popular teams by a ton. On Twitter, they're the most popular teams, but like it's the Lakers and the Warriors are the most popular, are the most active and big fan bases on Twitter. And then 3 and 4 are probably LeBron stands and Steph stands. So it's like all of this just.
Yeah. It's, I rarely kick myself for a bet that I make, but putting the Kings in that parlay instead of the Warriors yesterday, I have been kicking myself since. You know, I thought.
Thank you for reminding me. I have to dunk on a bunch of people on Twitter when I said the Kings had 0.0% chance. I got dunk on people. Yeah.
I was gonna ask how that if you had started doing that yet, but
I haven't. I screenshotted.
Just be careful when you're dunking, man. Like your knees can't hold up the way that they used to.
No, no, they cannot. No, they cannot. But I do think there is a lot to be like. I understand the fear of the Warriors, and we've started talking about matchup stuff, so I understand that the fear of that. The Lakers did pretty much just kick the Warriors' ass all season, though, and Steph and Clay have not been good in Staples / crypto. So I think there are some things, and there's a lot that the Warriors just in Game 6 at home just didn't show up with a chance to close out the Kings. Just didn't show up, and they're 11-30 on the. Yes, they won twice on the road in Golden 1, which was loud, but they're also like a lot of cracks in the Warriors armor where you can kind of be like, yeah. And Steve Kerr doesn't trust any of his guys. I mean, there's like a lot of things that should give you.
Yeah, the bench for the Warriors is, I think, and you know, this is where the Lakers bench isn't exactly incredible either. But like, the Warriors bench, like I don't think Dante DiVincenzo played in Game 7.
He did, but he didn't play well and didn't play much.
Yeah, and then, you know, Jonathan Kuminga was in and out of the rotation.
Jonathan Kuminga doesn't play. Moses Moody, who didn't play all year.
Moses Moody, who barely played all year, is now
sub.
apparently in the rotation. So, like, you know, that's clearly
guys he doesn't trust.
That's a coach throwing shit at the wall and hoping something sticks. So, like, fortunately here for the Lakers, and this is kind of so last night, essentially the thought process that I had was, and I'll go ahead and take people behind the curtain. What I cannot do here essentially is, even if I think, and I initially, when I was like first looking at the matchup, initially I was like, man, I don't like this matchup at all for the Lakers. I don't like it. It's a singularly bad matchup here for the Lakers. Not that, like, in a vacuum, if we were just saying amount of talent on each team, I would say it's pretty freaking even. But like the places that the advantages that the Warriors have are pretty tough for the Lakers to overcome, and the advantages that the Lakers have, the Warriors have at least like kind of decent solutions there. And that's really kind of what it came down to. So I was going to write that and I was going to talk about that on the show. But I was like, look, if I do that, it's not going to end up well, right? Like there's no upside to being that analytical on what is a Lakers show. So what I did instead was I was like, all right, let's write about a path to winning this series. Let's focus on a path and what it would look like if the Lakers won this series, right? And so essentially, and this is why it actually winds up being a perfect segue, talking about the benches. The one, I think, advantage that the Lakers have here going into this series is with the other parts. I think the Lakers know more about their other parts than the Warriors do, right? The Lakers in Game 6, Darvin Ham, to his credit, trimmed down the rotation. They played 8 guys. And I think if the Lakers start this series, especially in Game 1, if they start this series with that shorter rotation and really trim this down and really try to steal Game 1 and focus on winning Game 1, and LeBron has never won a Game 1 against the Warriors. But if the Lakers can steal a Game 1 here,
I don't think that's true.
I'm pretty sure that's true.
I think famously that Game 1 was that J.R. Smith didn't.
J.R. Smith
that was
game.
one of them, but I thought they won Game 1 in one of the series. But it doesn't matter.
But yeah, I think, like, we alluded to it already. I don't think there's any kind of feeling this one out. I think the Lakers have to, they have to, I think, accept their identity. And I know that identity isn't something that Darvin Ham is ideologically in tune with generally. I think he would prefer to go smaller. But if the Lakers try to go smaller and match up with the smaller guys on Golden State, it's a short series, right? I don't think this is a Beasley series. This might be a Troy Brown series.
I think Troy can. I think Troy can take a shift here or there on Wiggins.
And if they're absolutely desperate to keep Looney off of the glass, maybe you get like a stint here and there of Bamba. But
you don't want Bamba on the floor.
But beyond that,
or how about this? If he's on the floor, if
Steph is not on the floor,
Steph had better not be.
Yeah. But essentially, what I'm saying here, though, is like the path to winning the series to me, and I want to know your thoughts on if you think A, this is the right path to take, and B, how likely you think this is a scenario of playing out.
Okay.
But to me, we saw what the Lakers' playoff rotation should be in Game 6 against Memphis when they absolutely mollywopped them, beat the shit out of them, got him up out of there as quickly as possible.
Dillon Brooks got his 40.
Dillon Brooks in his little purse and his cute little red sweater got up out of there as quickly as possible in his jorts. Got fined for being a dweeb, and yeah, like that to me though was the Lakers' 103 mile an hour fastball. That's what that looks like. And I think they have to start this series throwing that fastball. So if you win, you go in there, you steal Game 1. And you go back home with that split, right? And then you take care of business against a bad road team, and you're up 3-1, and you have 3 chances at knocking them out from there out. That's the path. You focus on going big, you out-physical them, you make Steph. I think one thing that the Kings don't have that really hurt them over the course of the series, Steph never wore down. There was nobody who was like giving him an extra bump here and there. There was nobody who there were no hard screens set on Steph. It was just kind of, he was allowed to just be Steph, and he got better over the course of the series. And finally in Game 7 put together that masterpiece. I think for the Lakers here, you get extra physical with them. You have Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has to use all 6 fouls in every game that he plays against them. You have, I think one set that I think the Lakers really have to rely on heavily here is I think Steph is probably going to guard D'Lo from the get.
Yeah.
And what I would do is I would put him in that stagger screen with LeBron setting the second screen. And you really just you put Steph through as many on-ball screens as you possibly can. Maybe you pick up a couple cheap, fouls here and there that are just like knocking Steph to the floor, but that stuff, that's how you kind of limit his impact on the other end by making him work his ass off on defense. And that was what the Kings just weren't doing. It was maddening yesterday. Terrence Davis thought that it was his time to shine, and De'Aaron Fox was like not touching the ball. And Kings fans were like, Davis made 3 threes in the first half. I'm like, the Warriors are thrilled that he made those 3 threes in the first half because they thought that he was going to keep on shooting, and he did. There's a lot of Terrence Davis, and it wasn't enough De'Aaron Fox. And I think in this one, though, the Lakers really have to find ways to get Steph on Reeves and allow Reeves to maybe pick up a cheap foul on Steph over the course of their time, his time guarding him too. Yeah, I think that's the path, though. You steal game 1, take care of business at home, and you go back to San Francisco up 3-1, and from there you have 3 opportunities to knock them out. One of them coming at home. What do you think?
Easier said than done, but yes.
Yes.
I mean, I think in your scenario, I think game 1 is very important for a few reasons. One, because the Lakers do or will have a rest advantage, right? The Lakers last played, what was it, Friday? And the Warriors had to play Sunday. So the Warriors are just going to have one day. That's going to be crucial for LeBron. So I think you have to come out and just try to, like, from moment 1. And I think this is why it's an advantage for the Lakers that it's the Warriors and not the Kings, because I think the Kings could beat the Warriors or beat the Lakers also. But much like Memphis, the Kings are not going to have LeBron's full focus and respect, other than it's a playoff game and you don't want to give playoff games away, but not that like on 100 from the moment, because these guys have kicked my ass for however many years, and Steph specifically. So I think that you have to get game 1 for those reasons. And the other reason is, in your scenario, you're not beating the Warriors 3 times in a row. You're just not. So to win, like if you lose game 1, to win games 2, 3, and 4 just isn't going to happen. Because one of the like underlying things about why this rivalry between Steph and LeBron is so great is because they are the 2 guys, certainly in this generation, but maybe ever, that have the basketball IQ and the physical ability to dissect opponents and dissect a series in their mind. And then as it goes, they get better. You said like Steph got better because he didn't wear down. That's part of it. He also got better because Steph just figures you out. And once Steph figures you out, you're done. Yeah. Similar with LeBron. LeBron figures you out as the series goes. He figures out his spots where he can do whatever he is capable of doing. And you lose because LeBron has figured you out. So I don't think the Lakers are going to win. I don't think the Warriors will either. But in your scenario, I don't think the Lakers are going to beat the Warriors. It's not, I don't think. They're not going to beat the Warriors 3 times in a row. So I think it's important to get game 1. Then, okay, the Warriors bounce back. You can't fake desperate. They're at home. The Warriors bounce back in game 2. Then I think it's possible the Lakers can win 3 and 4. But I don't think it's possible the Lakers win 2, 3, and 4. So,
or 3, 4, and 5, or whatever it would be.
Right. So in your 3-1 scenario, I think that requires the Lakers to win game 1 tomorrow.
Could you imagine the jokes if LeBron is up 3-1 on Steph and closes out that series?
I think LeBron is going to turn it up to whatever he can turn it up to immediately. Yeah. I think the question is Anthony Davis, because if Anthony Davis, if he is able to impose will in every game, I think he can be the best player in a series with LeBron James and Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson and all these guys.
He's the most talented player in this series. Like, he just is.
But if he doesn't, right, if he has those kind of peaks and valleys of energy, it's not even energy so much. It's like decisiveness. If he has peaks and valleys in his decisiveness, when he's at the peak, he'll probably be the best player in the series. When he's in his valleys, Draymond and Looney will kick his ass. They just will. And I also think it's very interesting. Like, Draymond has guarded as well as one person can guard Anthony Davis. Draymond has guarded him as well as anybody on planet Earth for his entire career. And at times has kind of like, I don't want to say he's like physically, he's gotten in his head and made life very difficult for Anthony Davis. And even this year, Anthony Davis has kind of shrunk a little bit in the play-in game. He did. AD came back in the second half, but I think this is very much, and I say this all the time because this is kind of not leadership wise, but as far as like the team goes when player X goes, I think we're seeing it like in real time turn into an Anthony Davis team and not an LeBron team anymore, which has kind of been the plan for a few years. So I think AD is like very much who decides this series.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought up AD. He was the last person that I wanted to talk about here because, yeah, I think he is probably the most important. Well, Steph is the most important player here, but um, I think Steph and LeBron kind of wipe each other out. I think we know that those guys are going to show up, right? We know what you're going to get from them if both are healthy for the entirety of the series, which we don't know about LeBron. You know, we don't know how healthy he is. He didn't look his best in the last series, but I also kind of wonder if that was him kind of recognizing, just like you talked about a little while ago with Steph and LeBron kind of figuring out the series. I kind of wonder if LeBron took a more passive approach to that series, knowing he was going to have to throw much harder pitches later in these playoffs, and
I also think LeBron knew that the Lakers
they could beat Memphis without him. Yeah.
I think LeBron knew the Lakers were winning the series after game 1.
Yeah. So my guess is that, you know, we see better from LeBron in this series. So if we just say that Steph and LeBron kind of take each other out, if AD plays like AD, the Warriors do not have a player who can just like wipe out AD.
Nobody does.
You know,
that's the thing about AD. That's what, like I was saying about Steph.
No, but I mean,
nobody does. There isn't an answer for AD.
No, I you're talking about like from a matchup perspective. If AD plays like AD is capable of, you're right. There just isn't.
There's nobody.
There's nobody can do those things.
Maybe, but like that's it.
But but I mean also like in terms of productivity, where like I think productivity wise, Steph and LeBron can kind of scratch each other out.
If they, by the way, if they do, advantage Lakers.
Yes, well, but that's the thing though, is if LeBron and Steph can kind of scratch each other out, and if AD plays like AD, that's the way that the Lakers win this thing. That's it, because the Warriors don't have somebody who can go tit for tat productivity wise with AD.
I mean, here and there, but not consistently enough to win the series. No.
Yeah,
if they can maybe. Like Clay has his games, right, where he's up there.
Yeah,
you know, Clay will give you 38 every once in a while. But like again, Clay is hit and miss too. Andrew Wiggins can get you 26 and 30, you know, whatever, fine. But like that's why I think it's incumbent on AD to be AD. Like it's asking too much for 7 times out of 7, but it can't be 3 times out of 7, or it's probably got to be.
It needs to be 4.
Yeah,
it needs to be 4 at
least.
But
you may lose a game where he has it. That's what I'm saying.
That's
like
true.
So I think it has to be 5 or 6.
The Lakers lost one of those AD games in the last series, right? I mean, you had 31 and 19.
30, I think he had 38 and 20, and they lost.
Yeah. So the thing with AD that makes me nervous in this series is that like against Memphis, he was able, because I think he was a singularly bad matchup for Memphis because Ja has to do all of his stuff at the rim. Mm-hmm. Steph doesn't have to. And like against Memphis, AD was able to
that drop coverage, just not against. We haven't even mentioned Jordan Poole, who's been pretty terrible, but like against Steph, Clay, and Jordan Poole, that drop it's just a losing strategy.
But like for AD against Memphis, he wasn't great offensively. Like he had a couple good games, but like you know, for the entirety of the series, like I thought it was a pretty meh offensive effort from AD.
Fine, I agree.
By his playoff standards, what he's capable of. But he was able, because of how terrible a matchup he is for Memphis specifically, he was able to make up for being meh offensively with being absolutely special defensively. He was the
destroyer of worlds defensively.
I'm not even kidding, man. I think that's like one of the best, maybe the best defensive series I have ever seen.
I don't have an argument against that. I don't disagree at all.
Unbelievable.
He was the destroyer of worlds.
Yeah. But
he had guys seeing ghosts in the paint, like guys just pump faking when he wasn't there. He was terrifying.
Transition, he had guys like attempting reverse layups, like poor Tyus Jones, reversing an attempt, attempting a reverse there.
Hold on, AD just blocked another shot
Yeah.
in a series
I
that's
just
over.
I just
AD just
picture
blocked
Tyus
another
Jones
shot.
like he's like sleeping. Oh shit! Just like,
Well, that but
but
you know how I said Steph is the boogeyman. Like AD defensively turned into the boogeyman, right? He had guys
yeah,
seeing ghosts, and guys just didn't want to
yeah,
be there. He did not
yeah,
want to, and especially as you mentioned for Ja, who does so much of his work in the paint, like Ja didn't want to be
yeah.
there either. Ja was
No,
like, I just no.
yeah, but I don't think AD can have that kind of series against the Warriors because their success isn't as predicated as Memphis is to like get into the paint. Like they don't have to. They are really good when they get into the paint, and honestly, it's over if Golden State is able to get into the paint. Um, like you cannot let them beat you from the perimeter and on the interior. That's when you're losing 130 to 101. But like with AD in this series defensively, I think he can still be good. He's still AD, and I think he can swallow up portions of the court. And he's obviously going to have a better series against Looney than Demotis Sabonis did. But
Well, I think
but
this is a
I
versatility defensive series for AD because you're right. He's not going to just get to camp in the paint and beat up shots all over the place.
yeah, but
But
like
he is
he
the
has
maybe
to be
the
better offensively to make up for the step back that I think he's going to take compared to the Memphis series.
well, I mean, yes, obviously he has to be better
Yeah,
offensively. Um, or he has to be like more consistent offensively, I think is what it is, because he had some
yeah,
great offensive games. Um, but I think this is a versatility because he's not just going to get to hang and drop coverage. I mean, if the Lakers just play drop coverage like they played against Memphis and is their base defense, they'll probably get swept because you just can't. You just
hmm
can't. You
hmm
cannot. You cannot do that against Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole. You just can't.
yeah.
You lose. If you do that, you lose.
Although
But
Poole looks broken, like
Poole
Poole
does look,
looks,
yeah, Poole does look broken.
yeah.
But one way to get him unbroken is to play drop coverage and play pick and roll and
Just give him wide open
just give
shots.
him
Yeah,
butt naked, wide open, walk up threes
yeah,
is how
hmm
you get him unbroken. Oh, AD is going to block 8 of his shots at the rim. Poole will just have these forays into the rim at the rim for no reason. The AD will just destroy, and Poole will fall down, pretending like he got fouled. Hopefully, see a baddie in the crowd, try to talk to her and get her number. Forget that he has to run back and play defense. But I think this is where AD's versatility, because AD is, is one of the best shot blockers in the league, one of the best, like just center fielders to cancel out other people's mistakes. But he is also capable. I mean, as capable as a 6'11" guy is going to be at dancing with Steph on the perimeter. So I think this is going to be a much more switch heavy series for the Lakers. It has to be. Um,
hmm
Now, would I rather Vando is guarding Steph on the perimeter than AD? Yes. But to have somebody that is capable of, like Draymond, right? Like Draymond is not the shot blocker. He used to be a very good shot blocker. He's not anywhere near the shot blocker as AD anymore.
yeah,
But he also can switch, right? And to have somebody that can do both of those things is a huge advantage for the defense.
hmm
So I think this is going to be, I think this is an AD series. I think AD is the key to the entire series. But if they try to play, if again, I'm going to have a conversation about this. If they try to play drop coverage, even in pockets, they'll just lose. I mean, you can, if Steph's off the floor, fine. But if you just try to play drop coverage, you're going to lose. I think the other key, other than AD, is the Warriors' turnovers, because the Lakers are not a great half court offense, but the
yeah,
Warriors throw the ball all over the gym.
hmm
And so I think even, especially like early in game one, that can be a method that if the Warriors are not as focused as they need to be, that the Lakers can, start game one 18-7 or something like that, because the Warriors just turn the ball over a ton. So I think AD's like, and this is not like a statistical thing, but just AD's focus, effort, energy level, and Warriors turnovers, I think, are the two keys to the series.
yeah, yeah. The Lakers being able to get out in transition is
Yeah.
a grand equalizer for because yeah, Golden State is a significantly better half court offense than the Lakers. Um, and and I don't know if the stats back that up. I'm just saying, like in
They
terms of
do.
weapons and stuff, like they are
No,
a lot better
they do.
at that stuff.
They do.
But
But
if
they
the
were 1 and
Lakers
2
can,
for most of the season. They were teams 1 and 2 in pace. The
yeah,
Lakers fell back a little bit after the trades. Um, and so both
but
kind of want to play fast. I did not like the Lakers playing fast against Memphis because Memphis is a terrible half court offense, especially
yeah,
when AD can just, he can
yeah,
just turn Jaw into like, I don't know what to do here. But I thought desperation mattered. So this was in game 5 where Memphis was obviously, you can't fake desperate. I say it all the time, where Memphis was more desperate. I think that a fast paced game feeds into the more desperate team. And you can kind of slow it down and choke the life out of that desperation if you execute in
yeah,
the half court. And I thought that the Lakers were a better half court execution team than Memphis. I think this series the Lakers have to play faster. I
yeah.
didn't think the Lakers will try to play faster, but I think they have to, and especially try to feed off Warriors turnovers, especially in LA. And by the way, shout out to the crypto crowd because
They've been great.
it's been, yeah, it's been
Yeah,
cracking. And that maybe, maybe you feed into a little insecurity about the Warriors road stuff. So, I mean, it's going to be tough though.
it,
I think this is
like I
going to be an
said,
all timer.
I think odds makers are right to have Golden State as the favorite coming into this series. Matchup wise, home court wise, all of that stuff is going to matter. I do, however, see a path. And look, the bet I placed in this
Oh, you got your
series,
dirty money? You betting
huh?
Warriors? You betting Warriors so if you can get donuts? You got your dirty money?
I bet the Lakers to win. So I placed two bets. I bet
Okay.
I have a hedge bet that I had that's just like the Lakers to win or the Warriors to win. It's like a $100 bet to win $60 just to have as security. But the bigger and the bet that I am obviously more invested in, I put $200 on the Lakers to win in six specifically at like
Mm-hmm.
plus 400 or four
Seems
whatever
like
four and
seems like
change.
good value.
Um, and that's how I think this plays out. I think the Lakers, like I said, and this is what I wrote for Substack, the Lakers have to like look at it as like a mountain, right? It's kind of how I painted this picture. And when you're scaling a mountain, what you can't do is fuck around. You can't go off the trail. You can't lollygag at certain parts and allow yourself to get snowed in or something like that. You have to find a script, you have to stick to that script, and you have to scale that mountain because the Lakers are the underdog here, and I think that script is hyper specific, and I think that's why I bet the Lakers to win specifically in 6 games because that's what the script dictates. And maybe the Lakers get some success and maybe some shit happens over the course of the series that allows the script to change. But as of right now, I think there's it's not quite like Avengers where Doctor Strange was like, I looked at 14 trillion outcomes and only one has us winning. I don't think it's that specific, but I do think like the Lakers, they can't mess around, and I really think it starts right from the get go. Like
I agree.
if Darvin plays 10 guys in the first half, I'm gonna be real freaking nervous,
Well,
man.
but some guys, you know what though?
Like I don't
Each
think it's a
series is
Beasley
kind of a
series at
reset.
all. I don't know.
No, no, I'm not saying good, bad.
Not
That's
with
just
what
what
I've
it
seen
is.
from Malik Beasley. There is no resetting
I'm not
Malik
talking about
Beasley.
Malik specifically. I'm talking
Yeah,
about expanding the rotation a little bit more, reducing minutes a little bit. I think both teams are going to do that.
yeah.
I do think Malik is probably going to get a chance in this series. I think it's
I just made a
possible Mo
face.
Bamba gets a chance.
I
in
hope
this
you guys could
series.
hear my face.
But again, like even for the Warriors, I think maybe in game 1 or 2, I think it's possible Jonathan Kuminga gets a look again.
Yeah,
This is kind of, there isn't the desperation, right? In game 1, there just isn't. So I think coaches are willing to expand a little bit, try things, see if guys are good for a certain matchup, see if guys just have it that night. And then as you get later in the series, or as one team gets closer to elimination, they adjust and shrink things down. I'm not going to make a prediction, but
if that's how Darvin is going to treat this, he has to be a lot faster on the uptake on Bees, because like Bees at no point in the last series did he have it. None. There was not a moment when he was on the court I was like, all right, these are good Beasley minutes.
He was not good.
That did not occur. And I think in this one, like you can't, and Darvin kept giving him chance after chance after chance after chance to see if he could have it. I think Beasley gets one chance, and maybe it's one chance per game if you really want to feel frisky.
I think it's one chance per game in the first 2 or maybe 3.
But yeah, I really think,
and not with
this
Troy
one,
ever. That we've seen, not with Troy ever.
Yeah.
I think each of them can get one shift to see if they have something in the first couple games.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me if by game 3 or 4 or 5 that we don't see either one of them at all.
Yeah. Ideologically, Ham also prefers to go into drop. And I think this series is calling for a lot more switching, a lot more. I don't know if I would ice, because like depending on the other shooters that you have on the court, if you ice somebody right and they make the pocket pass, and now you have somebody going downhill with a man advantage. I don't really know if that's what I want to put the Warriors into. But like the one thing
that's
the Lakers,
the other problem is that used to be that blitzing or trapping and just getting the ball out of Steph's hands and letting people play 4-on-3 used to be a problem when it was Draymond. Like you don't want Draymond playing 4-on-3 because he's that good. Yeah. Now it's also sort of become a problem with Looney too. Looney has become a passer, good enough that he's had like 6, 7, 9 assist games. I think
I'm really hoping that the Warriors can't afford to bring back Looney this year. He's legitimately good. Like I think you can make a real case for him being like a top 7 center.
I don't know. Higher. I mean, that was what people were talking about yesterday. I don't. Yeah, I
for what he
the man
does.
Had 3 games with 20 plus rebounds. So yeah, like I guess so.
For what he does for the Warriors, I think he is perfect for what they need from him.
Yeah,
Steph
makes $7 million a year, so he is definitely perfect for them.
Steph wins that game on his own, basically. But Looney is like a fairly close, or closer than people want to acknowledge too, in terms of most important player in that game.
He was the only dude that came along for the ride yesterday. I will say that. Yeah, like Draymond was incredible, whatever, but Clay was bad. Clay was awful. Wiggins was bad. GP2 didn't do anything. DiVincenzo didn't do anything. Poole may as well have been playing for the Kings for most of the series.
Yeah. Did you notice, like, so when Steph shoots, a certain hush goes over the crowd, right?
Yes.
Because it's like,
but it's just impending doom.
But like, when it didn't matter who was shooting, if Looney was in the game, that same kind of hush went over the crowd. Because like, this guy's grabbing an offensive rebound.
So that's
he's kicking the ball out. And somebody else is going to get an open 3, and he's probably going to rebound it again. He's going to keep fucking rebounding until.
I think the Warriors had 13. I saw this. I didn't check it, but I saw somebody say. I think they said it during the broadcast. The Warriors had 13 offensive rebounds in the third quarter.
In the third quarter,
that's obscene.
Yeah,
but that also. So the thing about the reason why I say Steph is the boogeyman is because everything that Steph does, it just takes your soul away, right? Because you can do everything right. And you just like look around, he makes a jump shot that nobody else on planet Earth would even try. And you just look around like, what am I supposed to do? There's nothing I can do about this. And that demoralizes you. That's why the Warriors would go on all these third quarter runs, because they would just demoralize you. Steph would take your soul away.
Yeah.
That's what offensive rebounding does too.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing you like, okay, we got somebody to miss.
Gotta stop,
we're
finally.
Good. We got to stop. Oof, that's tough enough.
Oh, wait, shit, we got to do it again.
Yeah. And then again and again. Yeah. So I agree that Looney, the offensive rebounding, I don't think he's going to be able to do that to AD and LeBron. But Lakers fans better hope not, because that is like that that saps your energy and saps your soul, and you're just like, well, fuck, now what?
Yeah, we gotta go again. No,
right. I
think
it demoralizes you, and you can break teams. And I think Draymond said this on. I don't know. I'm sure he's already had 10 podcasts out after the game last night or yesterday during the afternoon. I think he did. I saw clips floating around on Twitter. I haven't listened to it yet, but he was talking about Looney just it just breaks your will. Like you can
Yeah.
see the soul being sapped little by little, and then there's one you just quit, and it's you don't. There's nothing to do. You just quit. That many
It,
offensive rebounds, you just quit.
it was nice. The one nice thing here that the Lakers have going for them that Sacramento didn't is that the Lakers have a lot more guys who can pinch in and help out on the glass to stop Looney from having that kind of impact, right? Rui is a good rebounder. Jared Vanderbilt is long, and he can kind of pinch in on occasion too. D'Angelo Russell is tall for a point guard. Austin Reeves can kind of muck it up a little bit too. He has no problem going in there and getting hit in the face. Um, and then obviously have LeBron and AD. So
Yeah,
like that's going to help. So I think the
I do think.
Lakers.
By the way, I do think this is time to dust off Wenyon.
Yeah, I thought about Wenyon. Um, I thought about
More than
Wenyon
Mo,
and
not Mo. I think it's time to dust off Wenyon.
either of those guys. I think. I yeah,
Just not much, but I think it's time
yeah,
to dust off Wenyon here and there.
yeah. I think when AD is sitting, what you can't have, I don't think, is the LeBron at the 5 minutes in this series. I don't think that's going to work out because it if Looney is in there in those bench minutes and LeBron is your 5, then that is way too much tax that you're putting on LeBron in those minutes. You could try to put like Rui on Looney and try to like, gang rebound and have everybody really pinch in. But yeah, I think in those minutes when you make some more sense, and even there, I think you really, LeBron really has to come in and rebound and Rui and Vanderbilt and everybody else on the court. If Looney is out there while Wenyon is out there, or if Looney is out there generally, whenever Looney is out there, like I'm telling you, Looney is like Looney. Looney has like rebounding gravity. Like I'm telling you,
funny it is.
I'm so terrified of Kevon Looney because this guy, that guy dominated.
Yes, he did. But like having Looney that high on the scouting report is just it's hilarious to me. And you're not wrong. It's just like crafting schemes to stop Kevon Looney is like the sound of it is just funny.
Well, because like look, we know that the Lakers will occasionally go out and they commit their own amounts of live ball turnovers too.
Yes.
And if they're going to do that at all, what you can't also do is allow Golden State to have extra possessions by way of offensive rebounds.
The Warriors are going to shoot better than you are. You can't.
Yeah, you have to try to limit possessions in this thing, and
offensive rebounds,
that's
fouls,
where like
turnovers. You cannot lose the possession game to the Warriors.
Yeah, so that's where like Looney terrifies me because he exists to give Steph more possessions, and in some ways, like when the Lakers won the championship, right? JaVale would create extra possessions for LeBron, right?
Yep.
And a much fresher LeBron. And that wore teams down. Dwight, same thing, right? Those guys who were just batting the ball out to the top of the to the top of the paint or top of the key. And that would allow the Lakers to reset and help win that possession battle.
You don't think DeAndre Jordan did that at the start of last year? That's not what you're. No, okay. No, okay.
I'm in a good mood, man. I'm talking myself into the Lakers winning in 6.
DeAndre Jordan, no, okay.
Yeah,
the first however many games he started last year, no, okay.
Yeah. Somehow that didn't turn out well, but yeah,
I like it. Keep talking yourself into Lakers. Let's go. I want to hear it.
Are we
going to get you there by the end of this? Of course, it can happen. Of course.
Yeah. Right. I think that's about as far as I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm willing to say it will happen.
The Lakers are like the Houston Rockets. Like if I can get myself there. What?
Hey man, it's the
Lakers
it's the mom
Memphis's ass.
It's the mom and pop Lakers against tech bros from up north, man. Tech billions is these mom and pop shops. They have a lot to compete with in that regard.
Yes.
So
yes, it's the little engine that could Lakers. Yeah. Throughout history,
the We Believe Lakers.
The little engine that could Lakers.
Yeah. So I think it can happen. I'm not going to go. I don't think I'll ever until it does. Be like it will happen. I don't think the Lakers. I don't think I can get myself to say the Lakers will win in 6. But I also don't think though that like I don't necessarily think that Warriors fans are sitting there saying like the Warriors will win this in this amount of time either.
If they are, they
It's a
shouldn't
great
be.
matchup.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
if they
it's
are,
a
they
great
should not.
matchup either way.
They
Like I
should
think
not be.
both the most confident that either side can be in this is here's the scenario, here's what it looks like if our team is going to win. And that can happen. And then you can talk about the percentage likelihood that it can happen. Beyond that, anybody who is willing to go so far as to say, like, that is how this is definitely going to play out, those are the people who are going to, like, look the most foolish at the end of the
I
series.
think the other part we haven't talked about this yet, and this was obviously a big factor for the Warriors against the Kings, is the like been there, done that factor, right? The
Yeah.
Lakers, obviously, LeBron has seen everything and done everything. AD has played a good amount of playoff games.
Hmm.
Some of them are in the bubble, and I do not put an asterisk on the bubble championship. I think that's absurd. I think it maybe have been harder than other
Yeah.
championships. And I'm very fond of my ring from that championship. But
Yeah.
the difference, though, is there weren't fans there.
Hmm.
So as far as like playoff experience, that I think is whatever. They count, but maybe it's not like count as normal. I mean, just the experience factor, not that
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
championship doesn't count. And other than that, like D'Lo's been in a few games.
Yeah.
Austin now has been in a few. Rui's been in a few, but that's kind of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Warriors have all their guys have just done this, as much as LeBron. And so I think not from AD. I trust AD. And AD has. I don't think AD is going to have playoff experience. Itis where he wilts or anything like that. But I do think that's going to be an interesting factor for the Lakers. And it is one small advantage that the Warriors have, but the Lakers having the rest advantage, at least early in the series, I think may be able to offset that too.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see, man.
It's going to be fascinating.
I think after every game, I'm gonna feel a different way about this series.
Well, that's just the playoffs, though, right?
Yeah, I know. I like after every playoff game that your team wins, you feel like they're never losing again. And then after every game that every playoff game that your team loses, you never feel like they're ever going to win again.
And then it gets to like game 4, game 5. As long as somebody isn't just obviously better and dominating it, once it gets to game 4 and game 5, like the adjustments and the counters to the adjustments and the counters to the counters are kind of used up, and then you see what the series is, and then you kind of just go like, okay, who's better?
Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow's going to suck, man. Tomorrow we have a long-ass wait before the game actually tips off. And, that game 1, I think, is really it's huge. The Lakers,
I agree.
I think they really need to win this one and to stick to the script and to stay on schedule. And, so far, look, ever since they've needed to stay on schedule, dating back to like when they were fighting to get into the playoffs, they have stayed on schedule. Like in the games that they can't mess around in, they have not messed around for the most part. It's when they like have a little bit of success that you're like, okay, these guys are going to trick off one of these ones. But like in games that the Lakers absolutely needed to win, one of which I think came against the Warriors during that stretch.
Yeah, it was 3-1. Yeah, the Warriors won the ring night opener, and then I don't know how much.
They didn't have Wiggins, I don't think, in
Steph missed
2 or 3 of them.
Steph missed, I think, the middle 2, and I don't know if LeBron was there, and then this wasn't, and the trades hadn't really gone down. So, like, I don't know how much there is to take from it, but the Lakers did mostly kick the Warriors' ass this year.
Yeah, so, yeah. I think at this
point,
and
the Warriors trick games off too. That's the other part of it. Like, you're like, the Lakers are going to trick one off when they don't. Okay, yeah, well, the Warriors do that more than anybody, probably.
That's why I think game 1 is so important. The Warriors are coming off of winning a game 7. They're playing at home, and they might be feeling pretty good.
Does that give the Warriors momentum? Does it give the Warriors like a breath where they can like fall into some of their bad tendency? Like, it's going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
Do I get a prediction from you? I'm not predicting. I'm not making a prediction. Do I get a prediction from you?
Pain.
You're giving me the Clubber Lang. What's my prediction? Pain.
Yeah.
This is going to be all time. This is going to be generational on Twitter. I can guarantee you that.
I
This is going to be series 1A of ever on Twitter, and probably forever.
I have like a 51% chance that the Lakers win in 6. That's what
No, just in general. I don't need games, just in general.
51-49 Lakers.
Okay.
Like it's 50-50, man. These teams are really they're insanely evenly matched up. They have a lot of overlap in some of the issues that they've had over the course of the season, and it's really going to come down to like, you know, the advantages that they have on each other. Whichever team most consistently takes advantage of those things is going to win this series. And I know that that's like, yeah, thanks Magic Johnson, Captain Obvious.
A
like,
little reductive, but
you
sure.
know, but like, you know, what it really is going to come down to is like, you know, like, can AD be the best player in the series? Like, can you know,
if AD is the best player in the series, the Lakers win.
Yeah, but like the Warriors have 2 guys up front who are more than capable of beating the shit out of AD and making him feel uncomfortable, and that's something that he doesn't necessarily deal with all the best. So, you know, and then Steph breaks math, man. Like the reason the Warriors have had this run is because they've broken the math of the sport. They have figured out, like they've you know, they figured out the equation faster than everybody else did, and then they hyper focused the solution to that problem, and ever since then, Steph has been like the backbone of one of the most impressive runs in the sport's history. So like if he is the best player in the series, they win. Like, that's it.
I mean,
if maybe quickly,
maybe, I don't know if that's all there is. Then the Steph's going to be the best player in the series in all likelihood. So if that's the only,
but it's
thing,
about the
then,
gap, right? Like if Steph is the best, yeah. So
well, I agree. No, which is why I said earlier, if you said maybe LeBron production wise, not impact necessarily, but production wise, if LeBron can
play
approximate,
relatively
equal
even
out Steph or be close, then that's big advantage Lakers. I would not suspect that's likely, but if LeBron can, then that is huge advantage Lakers. So
yeah,
there's your path. And by the way, if anybody was going to do it, it would be LeBron against Steph. You know, at this point in year
he's
20,
done it.
and right, yeah,
he's the only guy who's done it.
Yes. I mean, there are a lot of all-time great players in the wake of Steph just dominating them in series, right? Like Tatum last year. Tatum's great. I mean, all-time, not yet, but Tatum's, you know, even some LeBron and CP3 and Harden and Kevin Durant.
KD.
Yeah, like Steph has done this.
But you can say the same thing about LeBron. Like
LeBron's done it to more
owned
guys.
the Eastern Conference.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Although there weren't like all-time greats that in the East that Steph was facing. But yeah, no, LeBron absolutely can do that.
Yeah.
Can he in year 20 with a foot that still probably isn't right at 38 years old is the open question, which is why it's on AD to, if AD is the best player in the series, the Lakers win probably easily.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Will he be? I will say this. I think this is the important part. The Lakers have 2 guys that potentially could be the best player in a series. Then the Warriors don't.
Yeah,
I suspect Steph will be the best player in the series, but the Lakers have 2 guys that could be.
Yeah.
So this is fun, man. No, I hate this, but this is fun.
We should end there. Fuck it. Lakers in 6. Let's go.
There you go. Love it.